took off. But just for you, after I think it was like 22 points in less than 5 minutes, just what really got going there?
Yeah, I think once a couple shots fell, confidence and energy picked up, and we were able to, just keep it going. And I think we just did a better job of responding, starting on the defensive end and just getting stops and pushing transition and getting buckets that way.
How much did that buzzer beater at the end of the first half kind of lift you guys? Because it didn't feel like you were tied, but the score was tied going into the half because of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think after having a half like that and it was tied, I think that kind of told you a lot, told us a lot. We were like, we realized it, and we were like, okay, like we had a terrible half and it's a tie ball game. Like, can only go up from here. So I thought we did a great job coming out that second half, just a little bit more fire and understanding that, and thought we did a good job.
Everything was pretty focused on Trey early on offensively with pretty great success. When he went out, did you feel like somebody needed to do something? You seemed a lot more sort of trying to create your own shot and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought our offense, we were just standing a lot. And I felt like someone had to go do something, and that's my job as the point guard, is to get us an offense, go get mine, or go get someone else's shot if they help in. And my shot was falling, so I was able to get a couple quick buckets there and help us when we needed it.
How much were some of the earlier defenses with the high hedging and trapping kind of help you prepare adjusting as a team in the second half to what Iowa was doing?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I thought tonight we weren't good at it at all. I thought we struggled a lot. I had a couple of turnovers off of that, but I mean, it just prepares you for it. I mean, we've been through a lot of those games where teams do that, and we understand what we're supposed to do, and tonight we didn't do what we were supposed to do. So I think maybe just understanding and getting into it quicker and just getting open.
Is that what felt, you called it a terrible first half, is that what felt the most terrible about it? That it just, you go through a stretch, especially when Trey came out in the second game in a row, where things just kind of seemed off-kilter offensively?
Yeah, I just thought our energy was just off. I thought we were all just there just to be there. And I think once we realized that what our goals were and that we want to win this Big Ten championship and we got to win these games, these are going to be tough games. I mean, every game in the Big Ten's tough. So I think understanding that, and I kind of said that at halftime with these guys, that we got to pick it up. And then obviously shots fall, it helps to pick up the energy and gets the bench going, and everything falls from them.
In that second half, when you guys were kind of playing ping pong, trading baskets, are you even conscious of the score, or are you just trying to keep up?
I think we're just trying to figure out how to stop them and limit their guys to not keep going back and forth. And once we get a score, to stop them and get another score and then do the same over and over. But, I mean, they're a great team and they all can shoot. And we didn't do a great job containing them. And I thought it's just what you're doing. You give good players space and their confidence is high as well.
It had to be kind of a blur for both teams. By the time one team's down on defense, they've already made a three and vice versa. It was a pretty wild stretch there for one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's fun. It's quick.
Stressful.
Both. I mean, because we're like, well, we're scoring, we can't get a stop. And then that's the same for them. They're scoring, they can't get a stop. So it just goes back and forth, and it's just whoever can get that stop. I thought we did a good job getting a couple stops and then pushing transition and getting buckets off that to extend the lead.
Is it since the teams are frustrated that you don't wear down and you're playing 40 minutes every single night and you look like you're better in the second half than the first half sometimes?
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, it's my job, and that's what I came here to do. Like, no one wants to come here and sit on the bench. Like, I get mad when Pink takes me out for 20 seconds because I expect to play for 40 minutes because I worked so hard to get to this point. So for me, I mean, I don't even really think about being tired, even though when I am a lot of the time. Like, I just try to help these guys out, and I'm a competitor and I want to win. So I feel like with me on the floor, we have the best chance.
Is it weird, or do you notice when you go on the road in the Big Ten and the stands aren't full?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like an environment like this. I mean, when there's not a whole lot of energy, it's kind of dead in there. I mean, they picked it up in the second half, and I thought their crowd was into it. But I think we got to do a better job bringing our own energy when it's at an environment like this.
Were they switching 5 ways? Were you able to isolate their big guy and get to the basket a couple times, or were you isolating him out of their hedges?
I think it was out of their hedges. I think they were 4-way switching, so when we did do a ball screen 1 through 4, I was able to get an ISO through there. But I think just making reads is what it came down to. If the big stayed, then the big stayed. If not, I had to get it out of my hands and go make a play.
You've mentioned many times that everybody's here for a reason. How big were the contributions? Even though Cam only had 3 points, he had 5 boards and gave you a lot of minutes in the first half.
Yeah, no.
Obviously, CJ and Caleb gave you a big boost.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's like I always say, like that's why they're here, because they're competitors, they want to win. They understand if shots aren't falling, they got to impact in a different way. And the last couple of games, shots haven't been falling for us, and we got to figure out ways to win. And I thought we did a good job of responding and understanding defense is going to win this when shots are not falling.
You kind of seemed all over the place in the second half. Do you feel like there was a spark there to be had after the game was tied at half?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we going into halftime, we knew we didn't play our best half. The coaches knew that too, and they got on us a little bit, especially about our effort. Our shots probably weren't falling as well as we would have liked, but at the end of the day, like, you still got to compete, you still got to guard, you still got to rebound, still got to do all those other things. And they felt, and we felt, like we weren't doing that to our standard. And so they challenged us, and we were able to respond.
You guys have a 5-game win streak on the road in the Big Ten. It's hard to have your best game every half on the road. So just how have you guys been able to pull that off?
Yeah, I think it just goes to being, locked in and having energy every game. Like I said earlier, I don't think we had that in the first half. But fortunately, we were able to get it turned around. We were able to respond in the second half.
This seemed like a game where there was an advantage to be had underneath, especially with you guys knew that Freeman was going to be out and that was you and Trey had to win up there today.
Yeah, absolutely. Going into it, we knew that a lot of times, they don't necessarily like to double in the post. They like to keep it one-on-one. With Freeman out, we weren't sure exactly what they were going to do. But once we realized that, they were kind of maybe double big to big here, maybe get a ball side scrape from a guard this time, maybe just play one-on-one this other time. We wanted to throw it into TK for sure, and we trust him to make that read, and he did that time and time again.
You have 9 straight games, I think, now with at least 1 steal. I think 17 steals over the 9 games. Is it just obviously more playing time helps, but is it just more active hands or being alert and getting in passing games?
Yeah, I think obviously I think it's a little bit of both. That's something that I feel like I bring a lot of value to the team with. Just being active on the defensive end, I think my length can help bother a lot of guys. So I think I've definitely tried to be more assertive and be more aggressive defensively, and kind of look for those opportunities and look for those steals when they're there.
In situations like that second half where you're just trading baskets, as a player, are you conscious of the score, or are you just trying to keep scoring?
No, I mean, you always got to be conscious of the score, just to know what's going on. But yeah, it did feel like it was just bang, 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 bang a little bit. But regardless, our goal is to score and then get stops. We don't necessarily like going score. We want to score and get those stops, and at the end we were able to do it. But there's a little period there, yeah.
How did you guys prepare defensively, knowing this would be their first game? You have Freeman, knowing they'd be small, knowing they'd shoot a ton of threes, knowing they'd be trying to get out in transition. What were kind of the points of emphasis coming into this?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously to stay with their shooters, which it was tough because we let them get hot in the first half, and then in the second half, even though I'd like to say we played better defense. At that point, the rim may seem 10 feet wide to them, so you make it pretty difficult on yourself. But just doing that and guarding their actions and just sticking with their rules, that's always kind of been our emphasis. That no matter what those teams do, we still stick to our rules, and our rules still apply. So if that's switching 1 through 4, switching between the 4 and the 5. Very carefully. If it's a guard and 5 ball screen, don't switch, go into that drop. Just sticking to our rules and communicating everything.
How big was the scoring balance? Obviously, what Trey and Braden did with 50-something points between them, but then you get 10 from you, 9 from CJ, 9 from Fletcher, and then I thought Cam and Jakari hit huge threes in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, it helps tremendously. We rely on Trey, we rely on Braden for a lot of scoring. And so obviously, us other guys, we want to help them out, any way we can. Just to ease the pressure off them, to make it a little bit easier on them. So when we can do that, And they can each get, however many Braden had 30. I think Trey had 20.
25?
Yeah, 25. So when we can have them score like that and do that kind of with us other guys, I think, it puts us in a pretty good position to win.
What is it like as a teammate when Braden gets going like that?
It's fun to watch, but it makes it easier on all of us for sure. And I think it definitely gives us a boost. We tell him a lot. We kind of go as he goes. And we, obviously we rely on him a lot with the ball in his hands. And we try to help him out, get him to play off the ball some, which I don't even know if he necessarily likes, because he likes having the ball in his hands, even though it's a little bit more work for him. But, it's huge, and we rely on him so much. And, we wouldn't be where we're at without him.
Games like that fun where it's just a shootout.
I don't know if it's necessarily fun or not. It's definitely tiring. I mean, they run a lot. They run them down the floor. But it's a different way to play. And it's I guess it's fun to see something different. Obviously, you play IU, and it's more of a grinded out type of game. And then you play them, and they're up and down, a lot quicker. So it's fun to experience the different styles of play.
What did you like most about what Caleb gave this team in the second half?
Just a hard-working presence, whether it be rebounding, the play he had where he jumps 3 feet horizontally and and grabbed the ball for the steal, and then those are just big-time plays. Those win games. So he's a major part of why we won this game, but also all the games that we won.
Seemed like you had a lot of success one-on-one in the first half. Did you expect them to come out in the second half and start pinching down from the corners the way they did? And if you anticipated that, just how much did that open up the pass?
Yeah, I mean they doubled sometime, and then I know that they were gonna scrape. But coaches have done a good job of preparing me for anything. We knew that a lot of defensive systems, they don't really have like strict rules. At least it seems like they're on film. So they did just a good job of preparing me, giving me random looks during practice.
Was part of the adjustment at halftime to get the ball in your hands to let you play make against those doubles?
Yeah, we just felt like we had a matchup. Obviously, when they have one of their good, really star players goes down, unfortunately for them, and he happens to be a big guy. So he's a big piece of what they do offensively, but also defensively. So we knew we were going to have a matchup there, and so we're just trying to exploit that as much as possible, whether that's me scoring or me distributing the ball.
Second game in a row, you get in foul trouble. Just what do you need to do early in the first half to stay out of it?
I was thinking about how I was going to answer this question. I think I need to do a better job of showing better body language. Obviously, with my teammates. And I'm such a guy that's about trying to control what you can control. But when you consistently go back and watch film, and I'll do it today, and the same thing's going to happen. You see 4 or 5 bad calls called against you, and then you go down another end, you're just getting hacked. Like it's very difficult to contain yourself. But it's something that I got to work on. It's my responsibility to be able to control my emotions and I guess just give people layups and not pick up a second foul.
It feels like just like a month ago, people were asking, can Purdue win with just 3 guys scoring a majority of the points? And now you're getting 5 and 6 guys scoring consistently nightly. How much has that made this offense more prolific, just not having to rely solely on you, Braden, and Fletcher to score?
It's just harder to guard. When you look at, of course, everybody talks barbershop basketball, but when I look at UConn last year and what they did, what made them so difficult was you looked at their stat sheet and they leading scorer 14 points, 12 points, 12 points, 12 points, 10 points. Like you don't know who. It's just whoever's hot that day and whoever. And so when you're in a system like that, it's hard to, especially a team like us, like we, and all good college coaches, they prepare, and you can't prepare for 10 guys. So when we can get people, we can have CJ step up, we can have different people produce as far as scoring. Like it makes us really difficult to guard. But it also depends on the defense too, right? Like if they're not able to contain Braden or just leaving me wide open on rolls, like we're going to take 3 points too. So.
To go back to those fouls, on those offensive fouls, it can be a matter of coming set like a split second earlier, I guess. On some of the defensive fouls, it can be how you slightly turn your body, or I guess even just how the referee sees it. It just seems like one of those things where things are getting decided in the margins a little bit, and kind of part of the demands of trying to play at a championship level is playing up to that to some extent.
Yeah, well, it's like you said, it's a split-second thing, and it's just. And I'm not even saying it's the referee's fault or some conspiracy against Trey. It's more of just like when it's those 50-50 type calls and you consistently give the wrong end of those, like it's as a player, it's just super frustrating because all the coaches tell me before the game is not the foul. All right, like I play 8 minutes and have 2 fouls and have to sit up for the rest of the half. Like it's me, that's so frustrating. So like it's not like I want a foul. I'm doing everything I can not to foul. So I don't know.
What were some of the adjustments you guys had to make to help Braden with those hard hedges Iowa was doing in the first half?
We just had to come to the ball. Like, he's getting trapped. As soon as we, can get a step off and get a catch, we're just gonna leave a shooter open, or we're gonna leave Caleb or another big wide open at the basket for a dunk. So that's the thing about trapping. If you have a really good trap and it works. It's just like when we Buffalo. It's just we have to figure out how to make those players close to Braden available for the ball so we can get it and get on the 4-on-3s, 3-on-2s.
What was it like watching Braden on that heater there between the end of the first half and the start of the second?
I love it. I love when he comes off those screens looking to shoot the 3-ball. I think he needs to do more of that, especially because it just gives. The more he scores, the more teams send even more people at him, and then it gets me and other people, free points. So I'll always take free points whenever I get them. So I hope he keeps shooting them because he's capable of making monsters.